viral now.
Yeah.
What's going on? There's a claim says that you guys already got the information about the risk rate last night and already transferred some few numbers of foreign workers in your company.
Rubbish.
So can you like to comment on
Of
that,
course. I mean,
please?
it's a unfounded, or I would say a baseless allegation, and at the same time, it's like I really don't know what to say because that's not true, man. It didn't. Yeah.
What do you make of the rubbish that is strewn all along the back road? Obviously, they're from the factory because they have holes on the hand gloves.
Okay, so with this one, okay, this one, if you want me to be really fair with my comments on this, I'll tell you the truth. Look, when these guys come here and like we set out the rules and we try to enforce it, on our part, it takes a certain amount of like education and constant like reinforcement of the knowledge for them to follow. And you know, the number of workers is high, and to get them to cooperate with us as well. You know, certain things like spitting on the ground, right? It's common in where they come from. No hate on them, it's where they come from. So when they come here, we tell them, look, it's unhygienic, you can't do things like this. And it takes time for them to develop that habits, right? These habits.
So basically it's the workers' fault that the...
I mean, you want to phrase it like that, I would say it's unfair. I'm not saying it's the workers' fault. What I'm saying is that for us to be able to keep it like spick and span, it requires both sides of it, right? And while we also do our best to clean it up, it constantly happens, we constantly clean, but it takes time, man. You know, the older workers that have been here a few years, they already have sort of, they have built their habits, right? So they don't do it as much, but then some of the newer ones come, and we have to repeat the entire cycle again.
Are you satisfied with the standards that you provided?
I mean, as I said earlier, right? With the standards provided, there's always going to be room for improvement, for sure. You know, like if you want to say like on a scale, like whether I'm 100% satisfied, I would say personally, it's better than what a lot of people have, but it's not the best.
Are you prepared if there's any further action taken by the authorities?
Pardon?
Are you prepared if there's any further action taken by... if the further action is taken by the authorities? Yeah. Are you prepared? Are you prepared to face it?
Well, as I mentioned, right, this act has come into end, and it's an educational approach till then. So what I suspect is if the act is them telling us these are the things that need to be changed and upgraded, of course we will take the action to do it because it's the right thing to do.